There's the green light. Hello, everybody. Let me move this out of the way and let's get this posted over on the website. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com, and it's having all kinds of challenges the last couple of days with speed, and so I don't know why, but it's kind of a mess. I'm going to have to call my internet service provider, always a delightful thing to get to do, to find out why in the world my website's fussing so much. I haven't changed anything about it, and yet it's not working very well. So if you fight getting in there, know that I am on it. I am working on it. It's working pretty good right at the moment. Let's cross our fingers, and hopefully everybody can get in here and join us. jollyrogerukulele.com, this daily schedule, sheet music, entire how to play program. Everything's free except for the Monday night orchestra concerts, and and then of course sheet music's still under copyright that we've done over the last year. That's all in the members section now. All right, looks like looks like the website has cooperated. Let me go post on Twitter. Tweet. https://jollyrogerukulele.com. Patience, and then we click here, and we click here, and we click here, and we double click there, and we put the Tin Pan Alley sign up, and click tweet, and there. All right, so now we've posted on Twitter, and let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, you think? All right. Gosh, watching the news these days is like, oh my gosh. All right, so, well, I guess it's nothing. We kept thinking it would get better. I guess it's gotten something better, maybe. I don't know. All right, let me see if I have the plan in place that I think I have. I think we are playing our Tuesday, Tin Pan Alley Tuesday song, which is Ain't She Sweet. My computer here has struggled to get it in here, so let's see if it's actually loaded in. Ain't She Sweet. Ukulele. Nice, it's right there. And Ain't She Sweet Baritone. Alright, so we're set for that. And then we also are doing the arpeggios that are posted there today are new. They are revisions from a previous round, and so I do want you to download what's there today. I rewrote the ending. I thought the ending was boring, and I thought no. And by the way, boring in music isn't a thing. Boring in music means that you aren't bringing your best your best effort to it. Everything in music is exciting, and so I have one of my friends, Debbie. She says, "Oh, that song's boring. That song's boring." I'm like, I don't know if it's boring, or maybe you're just not trying hard enough. Yeah, she's hilarious. She likes things to be exciting. I don't really like excitement. I don't trust it. That's it. I'm erasing all my old notes because this has got a new thing here. So what I did was I took my boring ending and put in a more interesting ending, and is an ending that matches the approach to the song that I want you to take anyway. So let's see. Everybody's getting loaded in here. You have downloaded the new arpeggios and new Ain't She Sweet. Everything's new today. So you've been busy with your printer here. What do I want to say? Yeah, that's it. That's all I want to say. Hey, Bruce. Bruce is in from Virginia. Sunny, 68. Sound and picture are good. Looking good. I'm getting a haircut immediately after this class. We're going to make sure I end this class at a reasonable time so I can get over and get my haircut. Donna is in from Colorado. Pauline from California. 65 and sunny up there. Beautiful. Ronnie in from Nuevo Mexico. Barbara, let's see, breezy and 62. When's it ever going to be 70 degrees down there, Ronnie? You guys have been holding out. Barbara is in from Colorado. Linda in from Colorado Springs. Website isn't quite as slow. Yeah, I couldn't get it at all to work at about 5 minutes before the hour. Now it's just fine. I don't know. I got to call them. Amy is in from Denver. Sandy in from Upper Michigan. Vic in from Eugene, Oregon. Sunny and windy up there. Sunny is good. Windy not so much. Marianne in from Michigan. Hey, Marianne. Janice in from Scotland. Oh, we've been out riding our bike. Nice. The snow and the torrents are over for the time being. Jacqueline in. She's a local here. Diane also a local. Back again. I know, right, Diane? Let's see. Linda's in from Hawaii. Good to see you, Linda. LG in from, which is a fancy name for Linda. Enjoying the sunshine up in Vancouver. And Linda, you asked the question just as I logged out yesterday, and I was going to mention it today, and I forgot what your question was. Oh, shoot. Oh, my brain. Try to remember that question you asked me right at the end of class yesterday that I logged out just as you asked it, and I didn't get a chance to answer it. What was it, Linda? Shoot. Evelyn in from Ecuador. Tin Pan Alley today. Kat's in from Texas. Elizabeth in. Time for some tunes in from northern Colorado. Clay in from northern California. Good to see you, Clay. And Fran in from SoCal. Raining in southern California. This world is gone mad. All right. Beautiful and sunny up in Eugene, or up in Rockaway Beach. All right, beautiful. Guys, let's talk about the, I have the arpeggios up in front of me first, so let's go ahead and talk about those. I want to play through them. We don't need to talk about them too much because we already talked about them last time, last month, or last week, whenever we did them last. So grab the ukulele arpeggio in the G minor, and we'll play through it once, and I'll show you what I did on the end. Oh, that's what it was. Thank you, Lynn. Is there a way we can chat with each other on or throughout your website? Linda, I have chosen not to put a community chat board on the website. And the only reason I've chosen not to do that is that is one more thing I'd have to monitor for appropriateness. And I'm such an inappropriate guy in my head that I'm not the right guy to be a forum moderator. And so things that I think are hilarious, it turns out are kind of rude or whatever, you know. And so I've chosen not to do that. But if you happen to, you guys should know, if you happen to see somebody on the board that says something fascinating, and you're like, hey, I'd like to have a chat with that person, I'm more than happy to track down an email address for you so you guys can have an independent conversation. That's the only, I love those chat boards, but I just know that even on our one on the orchestra, we've had a couple of times where somebody has said something that just kind of, you know, that, I don't know, it felt controversial, or it was, you know, pushing a limit. And it's not that I don't appreciate that. It's not that I don't appreciate free speech and everybody sharing ideas, and I'm for all of that. The problem is that if I put a chat board on the website, I end up becoming a police officer, and I'm terrible at that job. I just really don't. Things don't get me. Things don't eat at me like they do other people. I never know what should and shouldn't be, where the line is for anything. So no, I have not put on that function on the website, kind of on purpose. And it's just one more thing that would take my time, and I just don't want to spend the time on that sort of stuff. What you want from me, I think, is for me to stop screwing around and write some music. I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what I think I'm supposed to be doing, and that's what I'm trying to do. And so while I love the idea of maybe someday having a chat board on there, it will be when we get enough financial horsepower behind this whole system that I can hire somebody to be that policeman. So thank you for asking. I think it's a really important thought. I would love to have you guys be able to just connect with each other one-on-one. And someday, possibly, we will be able to do that. Chris, welcome in. Nancy in 87 in Florida, sunny. Florida's getting back to being a normal place to be. Let's play this. I do want to mention very quickly, the ending changed. I thought the ending was boring. So what I did, go to measure 30, please. Measure 30. What I did was, instead of the chords didn't change, but the rhythm did. And so it's the same rhythm that you would have learned at measure 16. Ba-da, ba-da, bump. Ba-da, ba-da, bump. Ba-da, ba-da, bump. And then you're just going to pull these chords up the fretboard. So at 30, it's... Then slide up 1. Slide up 2. And then you're going to come and put your B flat on. G minor with this add 4. I wouldn't even put the add 4 on there, but there are a couple of chord gurus in our ukulele world that lose their mind when they see this. It's really just doing a G minor's job with a little bit of decoration in it. Okay, then you're going to slide down to your C minor, and then to the D. And then as quickly as you can, get your G minor on with your pinky. Pinky off. Index up. And then pluck that last chord. It's a much more dramatic ending. And here's what's kind of fun about it. We start off in 4/4. Okay? Whole first page in 4/4. Then on the second page, you go to 2/4, back to 4/4, and then wrap up in 3/4. So it gives you a chance to have all these different pacings and different meters all in one song. And the song really is about timing and paying attention to that. Nancy says, the people asking could do a Facebook page. You know, we have a Facebook page. My niece set it up. I have never actually, I don't think I've ever even been to it. That's an interesting thought. Maybe we could take a little bit more advantage of Facebook. Again, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, I have all of those things. I really don't have time to keep them up, and so I post our things on here because it's very automatic. But in terms of maintaining any sort of significant media presence, I just don't have a time or interest in doing it. It's why we have a relatively small group. If I was better at advertising, we'd have more people here. All right, let's play. Okay. From the top, 1, 2, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. That's way better. That's kind of awesome, actually. I like that song. Yeah, I don't know who wrote that, but they did a good job. All right, let's try it on the baritone. Let's see what that does. Let's try it on baritone. Ukulele players, this is your chance to come up with some cool right hand techniques and making sure you're in the correct meter all the way through. And so that's fun. I like that. All right. All right, let's try it. Chords for ukulele players: D minor. Let's see. All right, D minor here, G minor there. Your A chord is here. C chord. That might be everything. A chord. Did we talk about A chord? It's right there. G minor, A minor. Oh, and then you got B flat, C. Probably do it the same way the baritone players are going to do it. A, B flat, C, your F chord, D minor, G minor. All right, so you know your chords. All right. The only place to make when you're doing an accompaniment and you see something like at 30 where you're going to be dragging those chords up on one instrument, you should probably do that as well. All right, awesome. Kay says, Nancy, there are fans might help if I took off the mute. I don't know. Sometimes playing with a mute is the way to go. Whoever set up the moderator, yeah. So the square. Here's the thing on the square triangle things. Yes, they are the reverse from the previous edition to the new edition. The problem was violin players. I put it the reverse on the tablature because tablature is written upside down, and it makes sense that those would be reversed. And if you put them on the standard notation, then they would have been the way they are now. But violin players were really struggling with the up and down thing, and so I just decided rather than fighting it, I'll just go with what they want it to be. So it was violin players that asked me to change it around. They're just the opposite. So the boxes are downstrum and the little V's are upstrum. And again, if those were sitting up on top of the standard notation, that's exactly how I'd have done it. But on the standard notation, I did not want that to be specific to ukulele. I just wanted that to be informational, and if you play with somebody else to use that. The technique of playing your ukulele should be on the tablature line, and I could defend my right to have it the opposite way till the day I die, but it was not worth the fight. So yes, they're the opposite patty, but they're still, so boxes mean down and V's mean up. Okay, so like major 16. That's it. Okay, thank you for asking. All right, I don't like to fight. I love to fight. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. that? How about that? That's a little bit of everything. That has, you have to work to win that one. That's awesome. All right, let's play Ain't She Sweet. All right. All right. Now, I mentioned yesterday I took one ukulele lesson in my life, and this is the song we learned. And but back in those days, there wasn't tablature, and there wasn't, and so I had to memorize the whole thing. I had to memorize it in order to own it as a song. I was like, I paid $50 for that lesson. I am going to remember everything. And then I realized that I didn't really need to take lessons. So what we need here is to walk through it. We'll talk about it just as what's different between this and what's how we usually hear it. I understand the Beatles did a version of this. I did not go listen to it because I did not want to get confused. But some of you may know this from the Beatles. And the thing that I find fascinating about this is this very well might have been written on a ukulele, because if you look at the melody, the entire thing, top to bottom, there's one moment where I added in something, but the entire thing is on the first string. Now, when I see that, and it comes from Tin Pan Alley, and I'm like, oh man, I wonder if they actually created this. The same thing with 5 Foot 2. The whole thing is on the first string. And when you see that, you're thinking, that might be a ukulele song. And when you see that, you're like, make this a little bit bigger commitment to it. This is the advanced version, guys. Most of you will think, ain't she, it would be an F. Ain't she sweet? See her walking down the street. Well, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Okay, so get rid of all of the fancies, right? Get rid of everything that's fancy, and then you'll have the version that you guys do, that everybody does in ukulele strum along. Okay, so let's just start with that. Just get rid of everything that's weird. Okay, you want your Fs, your C7s, and your A7s, your D7s, and then you'll have this little strumming thing. Okay, so ain't she sweet? See her walking down the street. Now I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Dun dun dun, ain't she sweet? Look her over once or twice. Well, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she nice? And then you go into B flat. Just you cast your eye in her direction. Oh me, oh my, ain't she just pure perfection? Yeah, let her ring out, and then go to your F. A, G, P. Don't you think she's kind of sweet? Well, I ask you very confidentially, ain't sweet? Right, so that's how you would do it in a strum along. But when you get to instrumental and you're like, all right, let's jazz this thing up. These guys who wrote this were pretty legit musicians, and they would not have written that. Okay, they would not have. They would have said, all right, I'm going to sit with the ukulele out on a park bench, and we're going to turn this into something. Okay, so we're going to play the melody first, and then we'll go back and talk about the chords. So go grab your melody. Baritone players, I would probably just sit out for just a second. Just pay attention to what we're learning here melody-wise, because it'll show up on your instrument. Let's go from there. So start with the 5. Ready, play. Okay. Two, three, 4. 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, and then that's a weird note, right? Ain't she nice? We would usually do it, but we wanted to bring it back up with that 5, the D underneath the F chord to create some tension so that you can resolve it with the B flat. Here we go with that. Go. Okay. That's just decorative. It's not really in the song. And then go. Okay, so that's how we're going to end. And it's interesting that I think it makes sense to end on that D note. Okay, to get that jazz feeling into it, because normally we would end on a C note if there's an F. Ain't she sweet? Right, we would normally end on a C, but it sounds way better to end on a D note. Now, so the melody is mostly what you would expect. So now when we go through and we're like, all right, the melody's all over that first string, let's get this where we can actually create some energy in just picking chords that work to create this high speed, high energy type of thing. So first note's a 5, chord's an F, right? And you know your bar chord F, 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 5, 5, 5, 8. Just get rid of the 8. Okay. And the next chord is a D flat 7. You don't want to overthink it. Just slide it back and add your middle finger. Okay. That's a weird sound, but you know it has to be resolved, so slide it back 1. Okay. So just think of that that motion there is bar, 7th, 7th. Okay. And then you got a couple melody notes. And then do the same thing again. Okay, that's super cool. Okay, a couple more melody notes. Now we do a real F chord, bar on 5, pinky on 8. Okay, you're not going to like this, but this is the song. I didn't write it. You have these A7 on the 5th fret, and you have to get comfy with this shape. This shape in Tin Pan Alley, we've talked about it before. It's your E7 shape, baritone B7, right? And we're going to slide that up and put, rather than doing a full bar, I think that's too, I think it's easier to do your index finger and then the E7 shape in front of it. So index finger on 5, E7 shape in front of it. That's your A7. It's going to come up a lot in Tin Pan Alley. Okay, so do that, 2 of those. And then you've got your D7, that's on bar 5 with your middle on 6. Pinky on, or I'm sorry, ring on 7, and then let it up to get the bar again. Okay, and then you've got a G7, same shape as the A7, but it's on 3. Okay, ain't, bar on 3, she, and then slide up, sweet. Okay, and that's just decorative to fill out the space. Okay, next few measures are the same, so I'll go kind of quickly through them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's a lot of bar chords on there. I'll show you why we want to do it with bar chords as we're finishing up here. But I'm giving you a relatively advanced version of this because I know when you go to the strum along, they're going to give you a relatively unadvanced version, and it'd be fun to be able to say, hey, here's where this can go. Okay, measure 17, B flat shape. And then go to your B flat minor shape. That's just bar on 1 with your A minor shape on 3. Okay, and then slide up to 5 of that bar again. And then put your 6 on here. And I wrote tremolo above this. I don't really want you to do a tremolo, but you could get away with it, right? What I'm probably going to do is, right, to give it a little bit of a stroke, a little bit of a tremolo. And then we're going to repeat that same idea. Go grab your B flat, B flat minor. Okay, and you got to do that crazy G7 shape again. 2, 3, 4, C7, bar on 3. Okay, and guys, I do apologize. I have allergies really legit today, and my nose keeps running, so apologize. Then you get to that moment there in 25. That's the end of the bridge, or B section, I should say. And then you go right back into the A section at measure 24. Okay, so that's what you got going on. Elizabeth says her screen is freezing. So take all the 6s off the Fs. I would, yeah. If you're just doing a simple strum, yeah, just forget them. It creates the 6s create that jazz feeling, right? Anything that you see after that, you will end up with sort of these kind of cool. Anything that's not a plain note, right? So 7ths, 6ths, 9ths, anything out of that creates a little bit more depth to the overall sound. But when you're just doing a strum, just get rid of that stuff, you know? It makes it much easier. What does the D minor / G mean? Ronnie, you're on the baritone music, and we'll get there. give me a second, I'll get there. Basically, it just means you're adding a G in the bass. Sandy, I don't remember all these bar chords. Okay, take the 6s off, and the screen is freezing. Okay, so my screen looks normal. So maybe it's hopefully it's just one person. All right, Ain't She Sweet from the top. We're gonna go a little bit slow. Then I'm gonna show you how it should be played, and then we're gonna play it on baritone. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, three, four. Three. Two, three. Two. Okay, so kind of a poor job playing it. But that's what's going on there. And in order to play this correctly, you got to learn to play it that way first. Just slow. My ear wants the 5-5-5 to be 5-5-5-8 in measure 8. So put it in there. That's perfectly fine. Ain't she sweet? The reason I don't like the melody note as an F there is that it over completes the feeling there, Jennifer. So you could absolutely put an 8 there if you'd rather. Okay, I like the unresolved feeling, so we can keep the song moving. But you could absolutely put an 8 there if you want. Perfectly fine. Now, here's why you don't want to do that. Okay, this is how this song. You've got the framework. I'm going to play it for you at speed. What you should be playing. When you see the melody, we've talked about it before. When you see the melody on the first line, you want to hammer at it and get it after it. Okay, and that melody is going to magically leap off the page. All right, let me give you what I think you should do. Let me start again. My nose is running. Start from the same spot. That's where I'd put the tremolo. Okay, so that's what you really want to do, is you want to just get where you're just pounding away at all of these strings. That gets you that ukulele stuff that goes on all of the time everywhere. Everybody's just like pounding all these strings on. But by memorizing these chord shapes and getting them on, and you do not necessarily need to get them on clean, because this is a song that should be really raggedy and weird, and it's not designed to be, parting glass kind of song, right? Designed to be kind of silly, wildly objectifying of women, all this stuff, right? But it is a song that once you get the framework that I have here on the paper, then you start speeding it up, okay? So if you're starting just at the beginning is blum, blum, blum. That's what's on your paper. But what you really want is, right? That's really that's what makes you be like, oh, that's very professional looking. It's just this framework. You're just going at it with a lot more aggressive strum, and I think you'll end up with a fun song. I'd like to run through it on baritone real quick. Most people hate the bar chords. You guys will be like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. Again, in the ukulele world, when we're going to the strum along, they're not going to give you this. They're going to give you just the words and the chords, and the chords are going to be a whole lot more rational, taking into account the typical player. When you go to a strum along, you don't want to do homework, right? You want to show up, you want to play your basic chords, you want to sing, you want to have a good time, you want to go to lunch, you want to have a beer. That's what you do at those situations, and that's absolutely one of the lovely parts about our community, is that anybody can do that. But when you are an instrumentalist, you want to take that idea and then you want to turbocharge it, and then you get this. And this is not a particularly complex song. It's A, B, A, right? So you only have to learn A and B, and then you have the whole song together. And then you can start putting in weird chords and trying to do some new things. Jennifer doesn't like the unresolved F there in measure 8. Shows up at the end of the song as well. Don't change it, right? There's the guys who wrote this are not coming after you for messing up their song. Where's my baritone version? Ain't she sweet baritone? Okay, same exact story on baritone. Now look at these chords, man. You look at that and you're like, I don't even like playing ukulele anymore. None of this makes any sense. If you look at it, it just hurts your head. But really, Ain't she sweet? See her walking down the street. Now I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? So you can play it in all those open chords and you'll have a wonderful time. No reason not to do that way sometimes. But I don't know, it's not enough for you guys, right? Okay. Let's see. I get it now. Okay. Now, let's go through it a little bit slower on baritone, right? Because ukulele players, you're just going to be getting your chords as close as you can. I would A flat 7. Are you kidding me? Just ignore it, right? Just ignore it. Who knows what that is? Okay. From the top. 1, 2, ready, go. Oops, sorry. Keep going. Go. And the only reason, and again, to Fran's point, this is what it's supposed to sound like, right? Get that. But if you do that, it's overly good, right? It's overly like correct, okay? And our ears are like, that's what it's supposed to be. But if you do this, and people are like, what are you doing? You must be a jazz musician. You must know what you're doing, and that's what you end up with. So there we are. We will play this on Friday. I want you to spend this week turning it into something. If you are of the nature to be Jennifer, right? That's perfectly fine. Absolutely, play it that way. A lovely piece of music at the high level where we like to work, right? On the other hand, if you want to have something that's sort of fun, that's a little different, that's a little bit in their face, this way of playing takes all of those skills you guys have been building over the last year and just throws them out on there. And the thing, similar to La Cucaracha, where we're playing it in a way that you may not necessarily love, your ear may be like, I don't know if I like that staccato thing. It's just enough different from your ukulele playing that you're not going to run into other people even willing to try, right? With the same thing with this one. If you're willing to let it be a little raggedy, you get a different way of playing, something that's a little bit on the bordering on the professional side. That's how professionals think, is I want to take this piece of this recipe and I want to throw as much green chili and habaneros and whatever else into it, a little curry, whatever, and something to spice it up. and do it a little bit differently. And so you have the framework, and then you can decide what to do with it. I've over the years played this, I don't know how many times, it's thousands probably, and I change it almost every time I play it. Sometimes I add in those melody notes. Sometimes I don't even worry about them because people, I don't necessarily want people to sing along with me on this one. I want to show them some ukulele skills with this one, and I like that when I see a melody on the first string, I'm like, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get this in their face a little bit. We're gonna push that because the melody's not that complex enough to have to worry about getting every single note in, and you get a chance to turn on the turbochargers and blow it up just a little bit. Can evidence take yeah. And when you are, and guys, you know how with duets, right? We know that this isn't the thing you would sit down and just do on face. If you were going to do a duet with somebody, you'd sit down and figure out all of your chords, and then you would test them, and you would maybe adjust a few of them. And hopefully you've gotten the message that chords are not sacrosanct. That's the twice I've used that word. Chords are not sacred. Chords are open to discussion. The melody very rarely is. Very rarely can you change a melody. But chords, it's perfectly fine to try other ones and see what happens. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you'll stumble upon a happy accident, and most of the time it'll sound terrible. But this is in normal people world. This is supposed to be a C chord at the beginning here. And then but the melody, right, doesn't work, right? So, she, sweet, and so you would want to start. Don't feel like you have to do what's on here, but I do know I've been playing this for a long time. It totally works. People are like, oh, that's cool. I never seen that done that way before, and that's what I like about that. All right, so there's your Tin Pan Alley of the week. Tomorrow we are going. I'm getting a haircut right now, so I'm headed out to get a haircut. So I'll be much more beautiful for you tomorrow. Hopefully my nose will stop running. Tomorrow, Las Chipacaneas. Chiapanecas. I don't know how to pronounce that. And Las Mañanitas, both of those are really fun, beautiful pieces, and so I'll get those posted here by tomorrow. And then Friday, for sure, Cielito Lindo and Jarabe Tapatio. Jarabe Tapatio is the Mexican hat dance, right? I've got La Llorona, but I don't have it very far along, so hopefully I'll have enough time to squish some time in to get that one taken care of. So we'll get back to this ukulele Ana Española, and then I'll get you the other stuff for the week. And we got lots more Spanish-inspired music coming. And now you have my version of Moon River, 5'2", Ain't She Sweet. I got nothing on you guys anymore, right? I'm giving you all my good stuff. So. And those of you guys who were here last night, hopefully last night everybody came out of that going, that was really hard. Someday it's going to be my thing. Gary was struggling. I was struggling. Everything's kosher. Everybody's happy. And you're finding those jazz tunes that work for you in ways that work for you, and you're not letting the fact that they're ridiculously hard get in your way of thinking that you can be a ukulele player. There's no deadline, guys. You keep showing up, you'll be able to play it, right? So there we go. I hope you have a wonderful day. I gotta go get a haircut, clearly, and I will see all of you tomorrow. You're planning a round of active kindness for the weekend. You're playing it safe and getting your vaccine. You are practicing a little bit. You're continuing to show up here. I promise that's the secret. You're hitting this button. You have subscribed both to my channel on YouTube and to Jolly Roger Ukulele, which costs you a buck or costs you a few bucks. Costs you 27 cents a day, I think. You're sending me emails if you're sad or need something. Don't quit without sending me an email and saying, I'm so sad I'm going to quit, right? I don't get those emails very often. So keep playing. It's going to be good. The rest of the week is much easier than what we're doing today. So and work on these arpeggios. I do think that they're important. All right, where did I leave off? Evelyn says, thank you, Evelyn. Diane, cannot even think I can transpose it. Yeah, but transposing in the moment, yeah, too hard to do. Fran, love these sessions. Thanks, Fran. Good to see you. Vic, good to see you. Have a wonderful afternoon. Hit your thumbs up, right? And Pauline, good to see you. Kat, It was fun. Yeah, it's a fun song. If you gotta spend a little bit of time on it. It took me a couple years. Jacqueline, good to see you. Amy. My computer froze. I missed most of this, but I'm sure it was famous. Actually, Amy, all we did was talk about you the whole time, so you might want to go check the recording. Elizabeth, this version of Russian is off. Yeah, right. Get rid of the pandemic with Ain't She Sweet. Chris, good to see you. Ronnie, thanks for being here. Barbara, Clay, Patricia, Michelle, Nancy. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Jennifer, thanks again. Jennifer, you always challenge me. I love that. Thank you very much. I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to go get prettied up. Have a great day.